So the Accra High Court has sentenced Bernard Antwi, the Ashanti regional chairman, to 20 years imprisonment.
Going from here. Counsel, do I have your permission to engage you? And you have been part of the process. Yes, you have followed the process from day one. You are in the thinking of the defense from day one. Is this what was expected?
Certainly not. We are extremely disappointed in the outcome. In as much as we respect the decision of the courts, we have our resentment to the outcome of the trial so far. And indeed, I must say that...
You said the outcome of?
The outcome of the trial.
Okay.
Having culminated into a conviction and sentencing. Because under normal circumstances, one would have thought that at least once a person is charged with assignment of mineral right without authorization, it was tried that the Lands Act clearly defines what assignment is. An assignment is by way of a written instrument. And if there was none throughout the trial, and that a person could be convicted and sentenced on same, then it's really a worrying trend. And what can we do except to consult our clients and fashion out the way forward and come out?
But the charges were brought under the Mining Act, right?
Yes, certainly it was brought under the Mining Act. But the Mining Act doesn't talk of assignment. It talks in terms of assignment. There's specific legislation that regulates the conduct of land transactions. Is the Lands Act of 2020. Yes, Act 1036. It regulates the conduct of land transactions. So if you want to really understand what assignment means as far as land transactions are concerned, then you have to go to the Lands Act. And clearly the Lands Act talks of assignment to be a written instrument, but we did not see same. And said clearly, once he has been convicted on assignment without mineral rights authorization, it's clearly mind-boggling, and I am not comfortable with this.
You describe this as mind-boggling. To you, it is unfair. But let's talk about the processes of the trial itself. Would you say due process was followed?
I will reserve some for...
Would you say the judge was fair throughout the proceeding?
I wouldn't want to, with the circumstance I find myself now, I don't want to comment on some of the matters, but I believe that as a legal team of Mr. Antwi Boasiako will come out with his tact endorsement to speak on some of the matters that has gone on throughout the trial.
And that response points directly that of an appeal. Is that what I'm sensing?
Oh, certainly. Once you are aggrieved or dissatisfied by the outcome of the decision of the court, the onus lie on you to file an appeal at the appellate court. Now, from the High Court, you can only go to the Court of Appeal.
And this is over the illegal mining situation. Now, if you have followed this case closely, a lot of us were of the opinion that definitely something like this will happen, but some are taken aback with the year sentence that he was handed. Now, according to reports, it is said that Justice who presided over the criminal division of the High Court delivered the sentence shortly after 11:40 a.m. on Monday. That is today, bringing to an end one of the most closely watched illegal mining situation. Now, the court also imposed a fine of 10,000 penalty units, equivalent to 120,000 Ghana cedis, with a default sentence of 3 years imprisonment if the fine is not paid. So it is also said that justice had earlier found Mr. Antwi guilty of all six counts, including assigning mineral rights without approval and a lot more. Wontumi's charges, on the other hand, includes the court charges him as the owner and the controlling director of Afoakwah Mining Company Limited with assignment of mineral rights without approval. Count 2 levies the same offense against Kwame Antwi, a director of Afoakwah Mining who is currently at large. Count 3 charges Afoakwah Mining Company Limited itself with the same offense, alleging that the company permitted the two individuals to undertake mining operations without approval. Count 4, 5, 6 charges Wontumi, Kwame Antwi, and Akunta Mining, respectively, with purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation contrary to the law. Now, it was also said that the 20-year sentence fall within the range of between 15 to 25 years prescribed under the law for such crime or such offense. Now, the court has also showed leniency towards the Akunta Mining Company Limited, the company linked to Mr. Antwi, imposing a financial penalty instead of the sentence. Now, the company which faced similar charges was ordered to pay penalty units after the court considered the situation. This decision means that the company will not receive the same punishment imposed on its controlling director. Now, before sentencing, Mr. Antwi's lawyer, led by Samuel, pleaded with the court to temper justice with mercy. Now, the defense urged the court to consider the minimum sentence of 15 years, arguing that Mr. Antwi has shown remorse, cooperated with investigation, and appeared before the court throughout the trial. The lawyers also described him as a family man with no previous criminal records. However, the court imposed a 20-year term after considering submission from both the defense and the prosecution. Now, if you have followed this case closely, you would know that we all knew at some point that this day was going to happen, and as to how the sentence would come, we didn't know, but we knew this day was coming. And to some, they are happy or they are certain that this would serve as a warning or a lesson to others who hold political positions or are in power, to understand that no matter who you are, where you have been, what position you hold, when the law catches up with you, you would have to give account. While others are of the opinion that he is being treated harshly because according to them, 20 years is too long or too much a time for one to serve. But if you ask me, I think the law did what it had to do and gave the punishments that it deemed fit. And at the end of the day, someone has to serve as example to the rest. And this case, for one, was one that dragged out. It dragged out for a while, that many even started to believe that it was not going to lead anywhere. But I mean, today has happened. Now, this was shared on social media and a lot of people had a few things to say. Now, someone said 20 years in prison for illegal mining, which the NDC and other galamseyers are actively participating in as we speak. What kind of nonsense is this? They are just using him to appease oral. But low-key, this is vengeance and political persecution. Jokers. Like I said, some people are not happy, while some, Charley. Another person said, sad day ahead. We just want anyone who took anything that doesn't belong to them only to face the law. This will put all politicians to think well. True. Another person said, Mahama deserves a third term. This is what we are talking about. Someone also said, this shouldn't be the Agrada issue, sir. The media should carry it wide so that those on Galamsey sites now would learn lesson. We need our water bodies back and clean. Very, very, very true. Very true. Someone also said, I hope he actually serves the jail term. This will serve as a deterrent to others who plan to steal, especially those in the current administration. I really wish this changes our political landscape for the better. It is high time GH becomes a progressive country. Thank you, judiciary. These are so many comments that a lot of people had. Now, genuinely, this is really sad and this could have been avoided. And this is what I was talking about when I said there's a difference between people who have the legal right and certification to mine and those who are doing the galamsey work. This is a perfect example of the galamsey work and those who were in charge of it, and then the punishments being given to them. Is 20 years a long time? Yes, but Charlie, it is what it is. And when you do something that is wrong, when the law catches up with you, you will serve time. Anyways, that's all the updates we have for you on this story. We'll bring you guys more updates when we have them. This has been What's They Go On here at the Yo Charley Studios. We'll catch you on the next one.